Okay, so now we will be making the next part of the robotic arm, the full assembly that we're making individually, and then we'll assemble it at the end. The plane that we're going to be selecting is right plane. We're going to sketch on that, start with the right plane, and draw a circle at the center. Use the smart dimension to give it a dimension of 55. Press enter. After that, we will go to features, extrude this by 5 millimeters. Press enter. This is what we need, yes. And now we will produce a reference plane. I will select plane in this drop down menu. After that, it will ask which way do you want this. So we'll take the first reference as the front plane in this drop down menu, in this tree. And we will specify the distance to be 27 millimeters. Press enter, and we will flip the offset so it's on this side of the uh, discs that we just created. And I think since this plane is flipping, I want this to be at the surface, so change this to 27.5, and now it's perfectly flush with the surface. And I've accidentally cancelled my. Let me control Z. And nope, that made it worse. Let me just go back to extrude boss base and do the carry out the operation that I already did before this. Reference geometry, a plane, open this tree, select the any of these obviously. Front would be the third one, and move it to 27.5 millimeters and flip the offset so it looks like this. Press OK, and this new plane that we've created, say sketch, and right click on this tree and select normal to so that it shows from this view. Produce a center line from here. Make sure the center line is from the discs itself and not the. There you go. Press escape. From this, and draw a line that is about 23 millimeters from the this. So we will give it proper dimension, 23 millimeters. There you go. And using this as our guide, we will draw a circle that there is a perimeter circle that you can draw, so you can think with, well, it might just allow us to do this like this. Then the next parameter will be this. I think the perimeter circle might not. No, the perimeter circle will cause problems. I think the normal circle will be better. Center circle. Use the center circle and place obviously the center at this and the corner at this corner. Any one of the discs corner. So one corner is passing through here and the other is obviously passing through here. Then we will place another circle down the line, and it will be used the smart dimension to distance the center of this circle as well as this. Give it a dimension of 110. Press enter, as this is what we need, and use trim dimensions to trim this, so we don't always need that little line. That was just for reference. Here we will I don't know, have the trim opened. Dimensions, our dimension basically. and dimension this to 80 millimeters. So do that, and afterwards click, turn off the smart dimension. Click on this wall of the this this wall and say convert entities. Now it is drawn a line here that is basically making contact with this. So let me just click this and then hold shift, this line that we just drew, hold shift and then click this. Now it's asking what should be the relationship between these two. So it's a add a relations. In this left window there's one called tangent. You click that. It has moved the entire drawing up. It shouldn't be. I think it was already coincident. I think the relation is coincident, not tangent. So it's already in contact with the line, so it's not showing the relation coincident, meaning that we don't need to do that procedure, but we have to convert this side of the this disk using the convert entities. But anyway, now we will draw two arcs, just 3-point arc, simple 3-point arc. Click here and similarly click here and just have yourself a curve that looks sort of natural in this, and then deselect it and give it the relation, meaning click this curve and hold shift, click this, and now give the tangent. So now it's perfectly sort of merges into the circle rather than just bluntly colliding into it. Same thing with this. Click this line and then hold shift, click this. Again, same thing. It needs to be tangent. For some reason it's not showing that relation. Let me click again, click this and then hold shift, this. There you go. It's showing that relation, tangent. So now it's sort of very smooth transition from this side to that side. We will take the mirror entities command and select this line, and in the lower window we said that mirror about this, so it's the same on this side. Say okay, this is what we need, and after that we use trim entities command to remove certain parts. So this part of the drawing, the circle merges into this, stays flat here. This part we don't need, this part we don't need, the center line, this, all this is removed, and now this is what you're going to be left with, this sort of peanut shape. Moving on to the next step is simply we go to features and extrude this shape that we have created into the towards this disk that we've created, and we provide the dimension of 15 millimeters. That's about right. Say okay, this is what we need, and on this shape we will draw on this surface and click here, sketch. We will draw an offset first, draw an offset, so it's already pre-selected the entire shape because we're drawing in it. We reverse the direction and provide the value of, give the offset of 2.5 and press enter just to see a preview. Yes, this is what we need. Say okay. Make sure to reverse the direction, or otherwise it will be outside. We need it inside. This button. Say okay. This is what we need. After that, we will extrude this offset now with the only 1 millimeter, only by 1 millimeter. Say okay. This is what we need. And then on this surface, we will sketch, and we will say the outer boundary of this, we will say convert entities, so that now this outer boundary is drawn on top of this surface, and that's all we need for this. So we will go back to extrude And this time we're going to extrude 6.5 millimeters, and we're going to provide a draft of 55 degrees. It should look something like, okay, there you go. There is a bit of a feature we can add to this. Rather than do this extrude that we just did, let me just delete this. Click on this feature that we obviously did, and instead of sketching this, let me delete this sketch as well. So this is the last part that we extruded, this offset, and then we extruded it by 1 millimeter. So let's just draw on this surface, on this face, sketch, and select the outside and say convert entity. So this outside perimeter, let me just hold shift and select the entirety of the outside perimeter of this. Don't know why so many lines are appearing here. And let me say convert entities. So now it's this surface is drawn but slightly above. You can see it. And we will take that and we will extrude that, adding that little bit of detail. And instead of extruding this, extrude it by 4. Say okay. This is the first extrude. And on top of this extrude, we will sketch again. We will say convert entity. So this same shape is again made into a drawing, and now this time we will apply those values that we applied before, the 6.5 and the 55-degree extrude. So let's say okay, this is what we need. There you go. Now it's looking much better in terms of sort of aesthetics. It's looking much better. Moving on to the basically moving on to this face basically. We will click on this, no double clicking, just one click, and sketch on this surface now. From this, first we will draw a center line from here, basically throughout the entire surface. That, and from this, then we will make a feature. Let me draw a line in this. Let me draw a midpoint, if that's not sure it will allow me. If I might just draw a line here. This part where, you know what, never mind. I will click on this corner, say convert entity. Now the part, the surface is sort of converted. Let me just control Z and do that again, but instead I will just use this corner, not the whole basically the whole object. There you go. And using that as the reference, there is a bit of a gap in this, but I think it's not cause for much concern. I might just make a line without even using that convert entities feature, because I need a circle that is, first you use smart dimensions and dimension this to exact format. The problem is that this line. Deselect the smart dimension. Select the side of this line, this point, and this point to be coincident. If it will allow me to this line, very nice. I can hold in it only to the edge, just so it touches, or I can just draw the circle out. That means I can just remove all this and draw a circle of 4 millimeter, and in that circle it's basically dimension 4 millimeter. Enter, and then specify. The biggest problem here is that this line, there's nothing to sort of make sure that, yeah, the line is placed outside in space. It's not straight. Some reason. If I were to make a midpoint line from this, just a little crossing point for both these, and it's not even showing the correct straightness. It's not showing. There you go. It's 90 degrees, perfectly straight. Press escape, and now we will have to establish a relationship between this and hold shift and this line that we just drawn, and it needs to be tangent, and it dragged the line instead of the circle. Let me just control Z this and make the circle move somehow. Oh yes, there you go. Don't even need the line. Trim entities and this. I don't think there's anything else. Here we will take a line, and so for some reason it allows you to slide a circle. When you place a circle on a center line like this dotted center line, it'll allow you to drag it, move it around, but it won't allow you to drag a line or anything. So we didn't need to do all that. We just had to draw this and then simply move it, drag it to the edge basically till it's here. From here, we will draw two features from this point to about this far. No need to go too far, just a simple shape that we need to make. Same thing with the other side. We'll just select this and say mirror entities, and then select the mirror about this so it's already here, and say OK, and then join the two. So join this to this, and this is what we have so far. I think we can make the distance that we put in this, use the smart dimension and specify a little smaller distance, like 3, maybe 2.5, might be 0.5 or 2.7. This is looking better than what I was initially doing. So let's do this, and then use trim entities to remove this part. Any other useless entities here, we'll just drag it around. There's nothing left in this area except this D-shaped, or this sort of door shape. Now we will go to features and go to extruded cut, and we will extrude cut this feature. Zoom in so we can see the. Not sure why it's not showing a preview. Also, the green boxes are being a bit of a nuisance. We just need to make this cut of this line. So That's why it's not showing a preview. It doesn't know what to extrude. So you just hover the mouse in the middle, and when it turns to red, you say, yes, this is what we need. And I need to make sure that it's cutting up to this line, this surface. That's where this ramp ends. So we'd say, yes, this is what we need. And this is what it should look like. This is where sort of cutout shape that's around these types of parts. And you'll see nuts and bolts in this usually. That's what we're gonna make in the next part of the video.